Oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic today. We'll be analyzing the situation, of course, for Bitcoin, a little bit of a higher time frame, and then zooming in on the lower time frame, the major levels, major scenarios that could happen. We'll be diving into Ethereum as well, guys, because I am super bullish on Ethereum, guys. We'll be taking a look at your favorite crypto as well throughout the end of the stream. Let's go, guys. Make sure to destroy that like button on your way in, and we'll be analyzing here all together the situation here for the price of Bitcoin. Make sure to get your votes in here on the poll because, yeah, legends, will October end up bullish or bearish? Got a bit of crazy hair today, but nobody cares about that. That's all good. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. First of all, most importantly, okay, we go through comment section. First of all, guys, on the stream, say hello to everybody. And we'll be diving into the price of Bitcoin because for me, it's obvious. For me, it's obvious on the higher time frame. It looks very good, guys. It looks very good. No signs of bull market top as of yet. Everything looks corrective for Bitcoin, also Ethereum, and it's looking pretty damn good. Let's just say that. We had a little cheeky double bottom today. Little cheeky double bottom. We had massive bearish CVD divergence. Bybit longs were going absolutely bananas in this zone, and we don't like it when too many people are going long here at the bottom. That means that the downtrend can continue and test the low several times. Now, we just missed this low by, I think, a couple of $100, few $100, not much. These lows that were formed on Sunday would have been nice. Would have been nice to sweep those lows of the range. But we formed a local double bottom instead. That's good enough. If you are in front of the computer and you're waiting and you're there and you have your alerts, let's say it was an acceptable double bottom here to claim the local highs. I like these double bottoms, guys. We love double bottoms. We like bottoms, right? More than tops. We like more double bottoms than double tops. Anyway, we'll be discussing here the higher time frame first of all, guys, and we'll be zooming in on the lower time frame to discuss the major levels that are important, what changes the probabilities for bullish and bearish, and what are good levels to consider a long or a short position, right? We create those plans and then we see the next day if they come to fruition. That's what we like to do. Let's say hello to the rest of the community. Get your votes in here, legends. Okay, how will October end? Will it end green? Red, but Q4 green. Top is in. We got 6%. Not many people saying that the top is in. Maybe the top is in, right? If they say that the majority are wrong and only a small percentage are right, we haven't got many on the top is in, guys. Maybe they are right. I don't believe so. Just because the price action is extremely corrective on Bitcoin and Ethereum. No major warning signs as of yet, guys, okay? So we'll be going through the charts in the next coming minutes. Staffer1, El Profesor is back, baby. How are you doing? Much love to you. Nico, Soapy, how are you doing? Let's go, Andy. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. How are you? ¿Cómo estás tú? Pre-liked for El Profesor. Jad Georges, how are you doing? Axel, get ready for an incoming reversal, he says. Very true, very true. I am a strong believer in that. We did get a massive shakeout. There is some data that we want to share also when we have these massive negative, funding rate turns negative. Social media are quite, in doubt, right? You do get that doubt. That is usually quite bullish. We got the massive whale. We got a bit of news that we can go through in later on, guys, but we know that this is not mainly a news channel. Even though a lot of people appreciate the news, we focus on TA levels and trading opportunities. Mesmer, yo, much love to you. On my spot now, market feels mega scammy at the moment. Yeah, this is the thing, right? People are a little bit skeptical right now with the leverage. I mean, it's okay if you manage risk, right? But the people that went all in, and went in on longs on altcoins and had limit longs on altcoins at higher lows, they're the ones that got the pain, okay? But whoever doesn't do that, such as myself and I think many of the community, I think they're pretty okay, right? I'm a very conservative trader. I just like to get into a good trade. I wait and I wait and I wait. I'm the best waiting guy. So and for a good opportunity. So But a lot of people take this as very emotional, right? They want to trade every day, every second if they can. And that's dangerous. You can burn your account very easily, right? Good evening, Andy. Good day, guys. How are you doing? Much love. Put on mascara. Let's talk about the outcome. Yeah, it's going to be green. Absolutely. I do think so. I do think there's a good chance that October ends up green. Okay. 65% of the people are saying green. October ends green. So Staff One, much love. Pac-Man, what's up, legends? We got the legend himself here, Pac-Man. He's been an OG moderator, guys, since 2021, maybe. Pac-Man, let me know in the comment section. Maybe 2021, 2022. Since the early stages of the channel. The channel was active in 2020, just at the beginning stages of the bull run, just a few months after the C19 crash. Come on, people, beat up the like button. Smash it up, guys, if you do enjoy the content. We're just doing a little bit of talk at the moment. We'll dive in right away. I need to go through the comment section because I'm very bad with the comment section, right? I'm not good with the comment section. I kind of leave you guys on the sideline and I just focus on Bitcoin. And I'm doing half an hour of the chart and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, let's go through the comment section. I need to share some love with the people in the community, right? We need to go through comment section. Hello, sir, from India. Much love, Honey Trader. Alt still super dangerous to trade. We try and focus mainly on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We did integrate Ethereum in the last few months, which has been, I've actually made more gains with Ethereum in September. Just a main big short. Missed this long, but I'm not going to miss this long, okay? I'm already got a limit long entered, but it's very small. If I put a limit long beneath a level, I don't have many limit longs, right? It's just a small percentage, and I'm, wanting to re-enter a trade on Ethereum and also add to the position to make it a big one because I have full confidence that, we are going to hit all-time high. Could we revisit this low or not? Well, that's the main question here for Ethereum. There is one scenario that tells us that this low can be claimed. There's nothing bearish about this move on Ethereum. Nothing too bearish, right? We talked about the one yesterday that has low probability. Low probability doesn't mean it cannot happen, right? Sometimes the low probability scenarios do happen. So we just want to be a little bit cautious, right? So we'll dive into Bitcoin right away. And I've got some charts that I want to show. We need to get some spot exchanges such as Coinbase because there is a big difference, right, with the wick that was created on Friday, which is a little bit of an issue when we talking about levels, Fibonacci, Elliott wave theory, right? When we try and combine a low and a high, when there's a big massive wick on futures, we want to take into consideration spot exchanges. And we've got a clear example from back in 2023, okay, which I want to go through this just so you get an idea of what we're looking at, guys. Muy importante, very important, okay, that we take into consideration Coinbase now, which is the largest one in the US, which is spot, and Bybit, which is the one that I like to use and analyze with volume. I like volume profile here, but we need to take into consideration both because there is one scenario that happened back in 2023, which is kind of a similar price action. Back in 2023, we had this range between 30,000 and 25,000. The drop that we had throughout the 17th of August, my bad, of 2023, hear me out here, legends. Hear me out. Es muy importante. This movement on Bybit, well, eventually we created a significant wick down, right? It was, on major future platforms, it was an extra dip of $2,000. In this case, it's a bit more, obviously, because we are at higher prices and the movement has been quite aggressive. So I think there's a difference about $4,000 or $5,000, depending on what exchange. But here there was a difference about $2,000, which back in the day was quite a lot, right? When you're trading at 25K. If you have an exchange that moves $2,000 more, then it's like, wow, I remember this like if it was yesterday. So I just want to do a little bit of a comparison here, right? What happened on Coinbase? What happened on Bybit? The movement can be quite similar. We had a movement down, which, got a move up to take the highs, then the sweep of the lows. Do we have something similar cooking here? that's what we are going to discuss, guys, and also looking at the different scenarios that could happen throughout the next coming days, most important levels to take into consideration, and we'll dive in straight away. Okay, and you take a look at Solana. I will take a look at that. Ramon Anderson. I will take a look at Solana right away, my man, just after Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you hang around, we'll probably take a look at Solana. Axel, yeah, I remember 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁 as well. I'm not, brother, but you have been around. Pac-Man, yeah, Pac-Man been around for a long time. Staffer One has been a few months now. He's in the game. He's in the game. Much love, Staffer, to you, brother. Not enough like, boys. I know my like button sucks. People don't like me for some reason. I'm not sure if it's my British accent or my attitude. People rather like somebody else. I don't know. Not enough like, boys. You know, muy importante, Nico. Muy importante. BTC dominance climbing up. More pain for alts. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling I don't care about alts anymore, guys. I got half destroyed with ICP. And my spot bag on ICP, I did buy, you know, about $50,000, guys. And it's the value of it right now is about 24K or something. Man, these alts, I choose the wrong alts, guys. I'm not an altcoin fundamentalist. I take the risk and I get damaged as well. It is what it is, right? But who hasn't got a pain in this crypto bull market with altcoins? Who hasn't, right? That's the question. Who hasn't got a major hit on altcoins? You know, you know that I'm more heavily on Bitcoin and Ethereum since the beginning, guys, since 2018 that I started, always heavily, you know, recommending, not advising, not financial advice. Throughout 2020, 2021, 2022, guys, Bitcoin is the leader. Bitcoin is the king. Accumulate as much Bitcoin, really. You want to keep that the highest amount in your portfolio, because that's the saver, right? Then you can have a small percentage, 10%, 20% that you can dabble into altcoins. But man, these altcoins, at least Chainlink is the one that's doing okay for me at the moment. It is up about 3-4x from my average entry price. But man, a few that I bought in the last year, man, they're bad. They're bad. I lost everything, but my response was lol. Yeah, lol. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's why I don't even want to talk about altcoins. It's like, screw the altcoins, man. Forget about altcoins. They're dangerous. They are dangerous. We can have a small percentage to play around and be happy that, you know, if I lose that, well, it's my responsibility. Screw that. But anyway, if you do hold a bunch of spots, I assume they will recover at some point, right? Some of them. Haven't lost it till you sell, says Mark M. Very true, very true. That's true. I'm just saying I'm down on realized loss on the spot bags. Alts recover fast. Very true. Okay. Best hedge against crypto loss is a well-paying job. Yes. Well, I have many different sources of income. Okay. Just have different sources of income as well. Trading, I've been relatively slow on trading throughout the last few weeks. Not much, really. I have to be honest here, guys. Not much. There was only one major trade on Bitcoin that was a long in this region. I talked about a short in the pro community, but I didn't get in, and it was an epic. It was literally the top before the crash. A short position on a video update that I provided. I had some stuff to do. I missed that short, but it was a very, very good entry. And yeah, mainly Bitcoin long position to all-time high. This was a very good long position that was very much talked about on the channel, being very confident that this was corrective, and, you know, had a major swing long position that was take profit. I took 90% of the profits at all-time high. Missed this short position just because I had a limit take profit. Woke up the next morning and we were already trading down here. And of course, we didn't have major bounces here, right? I was happy to enter a short on a corrective bounce, but there was, you know, it kind of rolled over pretty fast. So, and then Ethereum was the one that paid, that I got paid on Ethereum in September with the short. Missed the long here. You know, I'm very, very, very cautious. I'm very, very slow with my trading, guys, but we try to nail them, right? That's what we try to do. Nail the trades, not randomly just long and short. because, you know, at the end of the day, if you trade with no strategy, you know, at the end of the day, you are gonna, and risk management mainly, you're gonna lose, right? It's just inevitable. So we're very, very careful. Anyway, legends, it's time to dive in through the Bitcoin price. Enough talk. Last few days I've been doing a lot of talk, but anyway, we've just had a major crash, a dead cat bounce, and now we've got a little bit of information that we can structure some things. Everyone nowadays left altcoins. Yeah, it was painful, guys. I mean, I got stopped out. The spot bags are down, and I was just, I had that feeling of, oh my goodness, there's so many people around the world right now that have just lost, you know, maybe everything, right? Or maybe over 50% of their account, or maybe it was just a moment of silence to have on Friday evening. I was out with the missus, and oh man, I just felt so bad for so many people. But anyway, that's it. Enough, guys. We're not here to cry, all right? Smack out of it. Whoever got damaged, don't worry. We're going to pick up, okay? You're going to pick up. Andy, what do you think of those saying if we go below 100K, below the 50 SMA, the bear market begins? You know what we need? Yeah, they're probably the 50 SMA, right? Is around about 100K, right? I'm not a fan of moving averages. But yeah, I would say the movement here that we've got is corrective. The fact that we moved up here in a three-wave structure from the low of April, I don't have any solid impulse that finishes here. We are looking for all of this to be a corrective structure. We talked about this a few weeks ago, back in August and even September. We are looking at this to be the 5-wave move up. We need a large correction here. We need a large correction in time. The fact that this was the correction after a massive rally in a 5-wave structure, if this is the correction and we get to all-time high, it's not good, guys. It's not good. We were talking about this weeks ago. If we get up to all-time high from this low, it's not good. There's no power. There's no, this October massive hopium. Fantastic recipe to get everybody wrecked, right? It's the ABC. Yeah, there we go. We got it here. The ABC movement, right? Very dangerous scenario that we had here. Moving up in a three-wave structure, claim the highs. Hey guys, a flat here to claim below 107K is very possible, and you know, we take it seriously into consideration. So that happened on Friday. Very quick, very aggressive, and altcoins obliterated. So we are still looking for corrective structures here. I'll tell you what I think about when is the bear market, when there is a chance for the bear market to start, and we can go down to 97K, guys, 96K, and I would still believe that this is part of a correction, because you have a impulsive move up to the upside, and until we have a very aggressive impulsive move down with clear 5 waves and a corrective bounce to the upside, then that's the moment that I'm going to say, okay, guys, it might have been the top. It might have been the top. We want to be cautious. We'll be looking for shorts. We are expecting another low. So this is currently what we got right now, which is an uncompleted impulsive move down, right? We can discuss that it's uncompleted, and I would rather get the Coinbase chart here because we got a massive wick on futures, and we want to keep it away. So what we have here is the biggest move down here with the highest amount of volume from Friday. As mentioned just a few days ago, this could be a double 1-2 setup. 1, 2, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want another 4 and 5 potentially, right? Form a little bit of a wedgie structure here and then get the rally. We were talking about there's still a good chance that this could be a wave 4 when we get Fibonacci from the last lower high of Friday to the pivot low. It's important for the bears to not hit the golden pocket at 116.7k. Right? It's good. It's important. 382 50% is the zone where you want that fourth wave to finish. So if we get that move down, create one more fifth wave, I would expect another 4 in 5. And the main reason why is because we have a all-time high 1 2 and then another low and another bounce. So we got a double 1 2. This second 1 2 is part of the third wave, which you have 3 4 and 5. So all of this would be the third wave. That would be your second wave here, right? 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 3, and then another 4 and 5. That would be ideal. So like a triple bottom scenario here would be the ideal scenario in the next coming days, preferably, right? That would be a complete impulsive move. That would be a complete impulsive move. Then if we do bounce, boom, boom, we form very corrective price action where, you know, you have a 3-wave move up that overlaps this pivot, this one, and that just doesn't look nice. It does not look bullish. It's very overlappy. The momentum to the upside is very poor. This will be developed in several days. Then I would confidently come on YouTube and say, guys, we're probably going to break down the lows in the next coming days, give or take, right? But we need that corrective move up. Okay. So, however, forming a 5-wave structure in an ABC flat, your C wave is a 5-wave impulse, right? And this is where, you know, this is a major swing long in zone, guys, without a doubt. Looking for the double bottom, triple bottom from this wick low, I would be very interested in seeing that kind of wedgie structure throughout the next few days. Maybe test the lows, bounce, test the lows again, right? You get people bullish. Oh my goodness, we're breaking lows, have people in doubt, and then get the ultimate recovery. That would be ideal. Of course, there is a scenario where the low is in, maybe, where you have a W, zigzag, zigzag X, and right now you can form a triangle. That is possible. If this is the low and we claim the golden pocket from the last lower high of Friday, there is a chance, there is a significant chance that this could be the low. And you just form like a triangle structure here in a WXY, right? You got your wave W, your X here in a zigzag up, and then your Y wave. We will spot this very easily if it were to be the case, if we form that triangle. And then there's the flat scenario as well, right? Where you do get zigzag W, zigzag X, and then you have a move up, move down, right? And you form a flat. Well, this one needs to come all the way up to the highs and maybe a running flat, or take the lows again and then go to all-time high, right? Sounds pretty crazy, but it's the kind of movement that could happen here in this range. Or the alternative is you finish this impulse, test the lows, maybe double, triple bottom, and you complete the ABC flat. Of course, this is a patience game, right? If you have a scenario that needs to play out as it needs to play out, here you have a double 1 2. There's no more to it. If this has to be an impulse, you need at least one more low and maybe another low here. At least one more low. Claim the lows here. That's the moment where we can look for double bottoms, triple bottoms, and a massive reversal, because it's an ABC flat. And then maybe the price really starts recovering. So you need the lows of the wick to be claimed for this to be an impulse and to possibly finish that ABC flat. You need the lows, so you kind of need to wait patiently for this scenario, unless you recover massively here and you hit the golden pocket, well above the golden pocket from the last lower high. Then we realize that this is a three-wave structure. If you hit the golden pocket, that's it, guys. This is not an impulse. That would even be more bullish to claim all-time highs in the near future. The golden pocket sits at 116.7k from the last lower high to the low of Friday, right? If you get above golden pocket, then yeah, this is a three-wave move down. So automatically, you need to realize if you have a three-wave down and you have three-wave here, then you need to kind of build up WX. What can you form here? If this is a three-wave down and you rally, well, there's a few scenarios. You form a triangle, you need A, B, C, D, E. Then you rally, A, B, C, D, E. You look for the two lower highs and two higher lows, two higher lows and two lower highs. You're kind of building up that scenario, right? It's just a long consolidation. And the other scenario is that you actually rally to the highs and then, you know, possibly take all-time high, and then you get another flush, and that would be the last one. You're looking for an ABC flat here to finish your Y wave. A lot of information, a lot of scenarios, but we'll go level by level. I prefer for the wick, at least on the spot exchanges, to be claimed, just because it's going to give us a much better entry. Okay, double, triple bottom here is the bomb diggity, zone. And I do have a chart, and you might think, well, this was the start of the bull run, and could be at the end of the bull run, so it's a different time. It's just the market patterns, market structure. This is Coinbase back in 2023. This is Bybit back in 2023. Let's just get a horizontal line from the lows right there, and also here, right? These lows were not claimed. These lows right over here were not claimed, first of all, on Coinbase, on spot exchanges, with the wick down. It was on Bybit, on futures, mainly future exchanges, right? Got a liquidation event. The dead cat bounce on Bybit did not claim the lows, but on Coinbase, we did, right? On spot, we did. So you can see after, you know, this is the main issue right now. Are we going to fill the wick? Are we going to fill part of the wick? Well, on Bybit, we filled part of the wick. We didn't came straight back down. We filled part of the wick, not all of it. On Coinbase, we did claim the low. So is it possible that on Coinbase, we actually get down to the low, but on Bybit and other futures, which is at 102K, we do not, right? It kind of sits halfway through because 107K is the low on Coinbase. And these lows have been claimed of the range. So when we take, into consideration these major events, right? These liquidation events. This is one in August of 2023. The wick was not filled on futures, but it was on spot. So when we get down on Coinbase to 107K, that I am considering higher time frame double bottoms here. Triple bottom potentially, just to consider 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 to finish that impulse with the idea that we form a flat. So it's really a patient game here, right? It's like there is the chance of claiming the lows on Coinbase. We got intraday levels, and we need to talk about intraday levels, because what if we form a higher low and we rally here and it ends up being a three-wave structure? Everybody that's looking to fill the wick to claim the lows on Friday on spot at 107K are going to be left out, right? I was waiting to long here. I was waiting to buy here, whatever your strategy is, and I missed the move. We came to the range highs of the weekend of Monday, and wow, we got a rally of, almost $10,000, and I missed it. That's what we're going to talk about. Of course, there are levels. there are ranges, there are scenarios that, you know, we want to take into consideration. And could it bounce from here? I mean, it can bounce from here. Let's just say it can, but preferably, it would be so nice at least to sweep up the higher lows here of the dead cat bounce. That's the first major zone for me that needs to be swept. We almost swept it. I think it is going to be swept. There's so many longs entering down here. There's been lots of shorts actually also, which has got this rally. But there are longs entering, massive bearish CVD divergence. Bybit are going absolutely nuts here with long positions. All of these wicks to the upside. You've got lower highs on price action, massive higher highs on CVD, which is, you know, there's lots of longs entering here, which is not good. You need to kind of clean them out. So I'm in favor here of claiming the lows of Sunday. I'm in favor of that scenario. There's a big cluster of levels here. There's a big cluster of levels. First of all, let's start off with the previous month, previous year levels. Previous year high of 2024 is 108.3K. Previous month open of September, previous month low of September, 107K. That's kind of in confluence of filling the lows on Coinbase. This would be my preferred scenario to look for a reversal. Okay, claim the lows on Coinbase at 107K zone, and actually, you know, this is the previous year highs and previous month low. It will be breaking down beneath this low, and that will be the moment of, oh, game over, right? We are rolling over. Now this zone, the best Fibonacci level that can provide support strongly is the golden pocket. The most respected Fibonacci retracement from the wick low on Bybit to the range highs is the golden pocket, without a doubt, is the king of Fibonacci retracements, right? 61865 zone. That is sitting exactly at 107K, right? That's filling up the lows on Coinbase. That's where when you get the wick from the futures on Bybit mainly, the golden pocket sits where we're filling in here the low on Coinbase. So a double bottom here based on Confluence is very, very interesting. Muy interesante, muy interesante. You know, when we're adding Coinbase spots, Bybit, we're doing a little bit of a, you know, putting it all together. I am going to attempt a long position here at golden pocket based on the reaction. I want to see it touched. I want to see it dancing around. Have a little dance. If we're dancing, I'm dancing with them and looking for a reversal. If we slice through eventually, then not interested. But this is the major zone. Could we just double bottom from these lows? Right? Could we just wick beneath these lows and reclaim it? Yeah, of course we can, right? Of course we can. It's a liquidity game at the end of the day. It is a liquidity game, so why go down this low? It might just wick beneath these lows and form a swing failure pattern. It is going to be a bit aggressive in my opinion. I like to see the price kind of breaking down, looks like a breakdown, and go to this zone of confluence. Previous year high, previous month open, golden pocket from the wick low to the range highs. It's kind of better. It's kind of a better zone. Get the breakout, get a move down, you know, go lower, sweep up all of that liquidity, and then get the bounce. So that's my preferred level, 107K, if I'm honest with you. Could you double bottom? Could you get the wick down beneath these Sunday lows and then get the reversal and claim the range highs? You know, it definitely can be an option. It can be an option. I prefer the golden pocket with previous month low, previous year high zone. Get a little bit of a breakdown of a couple of $1,000 and then suddenly form a higher low from here and reverse to the range highs. It is a liquidity game, but obviously I want these lows to be claimed, right? We've seen it, we see it many times. We see it many times. So for me, this is the most important zone. Could we miss out in hitting that zone and already reclaim? It just sweeps the lows of Sunday and then gets the full-on reversal. Yeah, we just need to attempt it. Good risk management. If we do hold and we, trade above the lows, then it can be definitely an option. It can be definitely an option to get that recovery back to the highs. That's your TP1 basically. And it's a big move. It's a move of $5,000. So it's either sweep the lows of Sunday or break down. And I'm eager to long here in this zone. Previous month lows, previous month open, golden pocket, and get that fearful breakdown from the lows of Sunday, and then suddenly get that reversal, right? Because a lot of people are going to be expecting the lows to be hit on futures. You feel part of the wick. On Coinbase, you actually test the lows, so it's going to be important to actually take into consideration the spot exchanges, right? Because where this low is that golden pocket on Bybit. So double bottom on Coinbase or spot exchanges, and golden pocket on futures, right? Basically on Bybit. That's the best zone that I can see here to attempt a reversal, at least to the range highs, right? That's what I'm looking at here. Hang on a second, I got my stuff deleted here for some reason. Okay, so yeah. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm having some internet connection issues here. I'll go through the comment section right away. You need to kind of throw the USDT wick out of the way. Oh my goodness, come on. This is incredible. Oh my goodness. I don't know. What's going on? What is going on? What is going on? Come on, Tradingview. I don't know what the heck's going on here. I've got no VPN connected. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Yes. All right. Let me go quickly through the comment section. My object tree suddenly disappeared. I don't know what Tradingview is doing here, but man, what the heck is going on? Anyway, Tradingview is going a little bit crazy here for me today also. What would be the other plan, right? As it's a liquidity game, we're going to keep Elliott wave theory a little bit on the sideline here, guys. I know a lot of people are not happy with Elliott wave theory. People get some bad comments about Elliott wave theory sometimes, but it is without a doubt the best to get that edge on the projections, right? You might think, oh my goodness, what the hell happened here on Friday? Donald Trump tariffs, major liquidation, manipulation. It was a technical scenario, right? Based on Elliott wave theory, ABC flat. It was a technical scenario. So yeah, Elliott wave theory does give you some projections that really are powerful. Anyway, let's go right away through the next zones of resistance that I do see on the chart, which is literally getting above the range highs of yesterday, basically on Monday, early this morning almost. This is such an epic zone because previous month high is a little bit, September highs are a little bit high, 117.8K. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Previous week close, we had there, obviously, Sunday, Monday. I mean, this is nothing at the moment. But what is interesting about this zone at 117K is golden pocket from the all-time high to the wick low. Golden pocket. We do have the anchored VWAP from all-time high. Let me get that for you. Okay, best levels, guys. We are giving the best levels considering a liquidity grab from the range lows and the range highs. I mean, let me just get this mess out of the way because there's too many levels. My object tree disappeared out of nowhere. I'll try and refresh that. But when we have range highs and range lows, I prefer the price to get out of the range and consider a reversal instead of a breakdown and go to lower levels, which could happen. Is get a sweep of the range lows and look for the liquidity grab reversal. If you break down these lows, I've mentioned here the previous yearly high of 2024, previous month open, previous month low, right? That's filling in the lows on Coinbase, looking for a double bottom here in this region after sweeping the Sunday lows, and then look for the reversal. That is the best zone in my opinion, considering the range lows, which is from Sunday's dead cat bounce. Well, Saturday and Sunday lows. Now the lows of Monday, range high, you could say this is range low, range high. We have such a good confluence area, which is anchored VWAP from all-time high. Anchored VWAP got heavily respected. We did point this out on the Legends on Friday before the drop. Major resistance at anchored VWAP and golden pocket from this pivot high to this pivot low. Man, whoever shorted this, made some really good profits. So anchored VWAP and the golden pocket from all-time high to the pivot low is sitting above the range highs of Monday. That zone is I like it, right? Get that move up, get above the range highs here, and this rejects and creates that fake out from this zone. This is the best resistance zone considering higher time frame, 117k area, where the price could really chop, create those local double, triple toppy scenarios, right? It creates a little mini range here and, double, triple tops, and then gets the reversal down. This is the best, hardest confluence area on the higher time frame. Anchored VWAP, golden pocket, and previous month highs. Okay, so we also have at this level at 117k, the point of control of this entire range. Okay. So yeah, not only anchored VWAP, golden pocket, point of control of this entire range since July is slightly above the anchored VWAP, but regardless, where you have the highest volume node. So it's, sweep the local highs of Monday is without a doubt a very fakey out zone. I'm looking for big resistance at 117 to 118k. So watch out for that zone, double, triple toppy scenario, and then a major rejection is very, very possible here. Very, very possible based on the confluence that there is. Point of control of the range, anchored VWAP from all-time high, golden pocket from the movement down, previous month high, which is, already got resistance in September. Big zone, not an easy zone to slice through, in my opinion. So that's what we got, guys. The most important zones. Think outside of the box. Range highs, range lows. Down here, 107k, which is filling the wick on Coinbase and spot exchanges. Looking for a reactionary bounce at that zone. Let's see if we do get that little 5-minute consolidation there. And outside of the range highs, anchored VWAP, point of control of the range, golden pocket of the movement down. So literally looking for a fake out. Okay, on one of these sides, liquidity grab and reversal, liquidity grab and reversal at these major confluence levels. We are not talking about Elliott wave theory here. We got it out of the way, but we can get to Elliott wave theory right away. Okay, we can look for, there we go. It's loaded now. Fantastic. So yeah, that's a little bit of the trading zones. the biggest confluence areas, they're outside of the box, guys. They're kind of outside of the box. Range lows and range highs of the last few days. Sunday lows and Monday highs. There's been a cheeky double bottom. I have to say it was an acceptable long. We had an acceptable long today. If you're looking for the double bottom. Okay. Man, I need to change. I think it's the browser, guys. I need to change from Brave. I need to stepping away from Brave. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, we had a cheeky double bottom today. Cheeky double bottom, which is, they're always okay. And if you take into consideration the stock market actually, S&P 500, it did fill a gap that we had. Okay, stock market had a gap here. I'm not sure if anybody of you trade stocks, but we left a gap here from Friday. We opened Monday with that nice little bounce. We filled the gap, and as soon as we filled the gap, we got the bounce here on this wick. So that created that double bottom also on Bitcoin. Bitcoin very much correlated with the stock market, and as we got this gap fill on the stock market, Bitcoin got the bounce, the double bottom, right? As it wicked down, it got the double bottom. So that was an acceptable quick snipe along. You just need to be in front of the chart to do this, right? But inside of this area, if I'm honest with you, I don't see any big major opportunity, high probability setups. Let's get the fixed volume profile here. Let's go through the comment section and say hello to the beautiful community. Buy physical silver. I bought silver in 2019. It was about $16 or $17 an ounce, or maybe even less than that. Is it an ounce? Yeah, I think it was an ounce. $17 an ounce or so. We can check it, guys. I did buy, same as I bought my gold in 2019 at 1,400 an ounce. I bought silver also, a few kilos, at 2019. It must have been about 14 or... yeah, about 14, 15, around about this zone, before the C19 crash, before the major collapse, it was somewhere in this range, back in 2019, about $14, $15 an ounce. And yes, silver's doing absolutely insane also. It's picking up, right? $50 an ounce right now. I'm glad I bought some silver just to diversify, right? Gold and silver. I bought a big chunk back in 2019. I wouldn't say buy now. I have to be honest here. It's always good to have some, but you know, if you wanted to at least buy cheap, now is not the greatest moment. You might enter you could get into a bear market next year or something, right? Because yeah, look at this. After the 2008 financial crisis, yeah, gold absolutely went bananas, just like it's doing here in the last couple of years. There will be a bear market, though. There will be a bear market. This ain't going to go up forever. In the case of silver, I wouldn't expect it going to $100 an ounce, at least in this cycle. It's going to have a few year bear market, a retracement. This is just uncertainty, which will settle down at some point. Things sometimes it looks like it's going up forever, but it's going to stop and it will reverse. It's going to stop and it will reverse, be it $60 an ounce, 70. We're just breaking all-time high, so I would expect a little punch more to the upside in the case of silver. Man, fixed volume profile is not loading, legends. Oh my, there we go. We got the point of control of the range of the last few days, which is currently acting a little bit as a resistance. Let's take a look at the session volume profile. I like the session volume profile because if we get back inside, range, yeah, the value area low from yesterday is well up here. A reclaim of the naked point of control could be a little sign of strength. If we break above the point of control, naked point of control if you wish here, where we are getting this resistance, it's getting suppressed. Get a move up, it can flip as support, continue this mini uptrend on Bitcoin. Any scalp day traders out there, breaking out here, few 15-minute candle closers, back down here to revisit. Could be a nice resistance support flip, but I mean nothing more. Mainly for scalps, just like this double bottom. I would only be interested in a scalp long on this double bottom. I didn't catch it. It's little movements of 1,000, 1,500. You just need to be in front of the chart. I don't have anything here internally. I'm looking for bigger moves. So the bigger moves here would be claiming the liquidity beneath this zone, golden pocket with the previous year high, and claiming the low of Coinbase, and that could bring a major recovery. And I'm looking for bigger swings, just as explained here, or claim the highs of the range, maybe a fake out to 117k plus, right, and then get back inside. So, but overall, we are looking bullish on the higher time frame, guys. We'll be discussing the Elliott wave scenarios. High probability that we do see new all-time highs on Bitcoin in the near future, potentially before the end of the year. I am looking at this movement to be part of a corrective large structure, and the probabilities for the moment, there's no signs of bear market. The top is in with this drop, guys. This drop was one of the expected scenarios, down to 107k. Probabilities, there's no signs of a bear market and a topping signal. We are above all of the major moving averages, which I do not know which ones they are. Somebody said the 50 day moving average, which is at 100k possibly. We look at volume, we look at impulsive moves. There's no impulsive move down. This is a very much coordinated, expected scenario that could have happened, sweeping the lows out 107k. We need a solid 5-wave move down and a corrective structure to consider that this movement down can be a 3rd wave. For the moment, we don't have that. And what we do have is a 3-wave move up here, which is not how you want to end a bull market. You would have to come to the conclusion, if it is going to be an impulse down, then correction, and then down. And you said this was a 3-waver. We can't finish a bull market in a 3-wave move. We would have to come to the conclusion that there's, this would be a 4 into 5 inside of here, which is, I heavily don't think so, guys. I heavily don't think that there's any kind of 5-wave move that you can count in this movement here. So all-time high is expected. And Ethereum is actually the chart that is giving me more confidence that we are going to see higher prices. Very bullish, muy bullish on Ethereum, guys. Very, very bullish on Ethereum. We can cover Ethereum right now. We want to cover the solid ones, guys, because if you're looking for, swing long ideas, these are the solid ones that are probably not going to get you wrecked, right? Like some other altcoins. So Ethereum is looking very juicy, guys. I want to go through Ethereum here if you do wish. Remember, I'll tell you what, Weeks got back to me today on Telegram, and they got a very kind campaign. Very, very kind campaign going on, guys. Maybe if you've been trading on some other exchanges, shout out to them, by the way, because they were actually sorry of so many people getting liquidated on Friday. And all of those people that have got liquidated, maybe some of you watching this, you're going to get $200. If you can prove to them for the first sign up, guys, maybe you've been trading on Binance, maybe on OKX, maybe on BitGet, any exchange. If you provide them once you sign up, okay, this is what you will get once you sign up, okay? Start fresh with Weeks, win $200. Now, to get that $200, that's pretty good, right? Especially for the small fish that you've been trading with $1,000 or $2,000, right? And maybe got wiped out. They are giving you $200 if you can send them a screenshot, okay? Screenshot on other exchanges that you've got liquidated $1,000 or more. So if you got liquidated over 1,000 USDT on any exchange, you share with them a screenshot, submit here, and they will give you $200. That's how you can get $200. And these $200 is for trading. Anything profits that you make from those $200, you can keep, you can withdraw. And that's kind of nice, guys. You know, they realize the event that happened, and they say, you know, the first sign up guys that get in, right? The first people that sign up, obviously, that haven't signed up already with Weeks, send a screenshot with your liquidation and we'll give you $200. What about that? That's absolutely awesome. That's nice of them, actually, because a lot of people, even some people that, you know, have traded with 1,000 or 2,000, maybe people have lost $5,000, which is a lot of money for them. And just, it's a nice gesture, right? Nice gesture. You might make $1,000 or 2,000 with these 200, right? We might get into a 20x long, 30x, and make that a couple of $1,000s that you've lost on another exchange, right? Which is actually pretty nice, guys. Super simple. You just sign up. They just got to me today, guys, with this. And you will see this once you sign up with the link down below on Weeks, okay? When you sign up to Weeks, you will come to this, and to get those $200, just share a screenshot from, you know, any of these exchanges that you got liquidated on, and they'll give you $200. That's pretty nice. Another way to get the $200, okay, event 2 is complete the task. You deposit $200. You move $5,000 in volume, which is super small. With a 2x, you know, with a few $100s, you can get to $5,000 volume, and they'll give you, you know, $50 to $200. Okay, so it's even easier to get it this way. The $200, $50 to $200. Follow the steps, guys. That was nice from Weeks. If you prove them that you got liquidated, they'll give you $200, which is very nice. Anyway, let's move on. Bluffin, also a great exchange. They're giving watches and an iPhone 17 if you move 15 million volume, which is not that bad. You know, you can win an iPhone 17. Check out the links down below, guys, for Bluffin or Weeks. And let's move forward right away. It was a nice gesture. I thought that's nice. I need to talk about that. I need to talk about that because I'm sure there's a lot of people that got liquidated over $1,000. You provide a screenshot of your liquidation on these exchanges, you're getting $200. That's nice. That's nice. Good job. Good job, Weeks. Anyway, let's go right away. Well, Bruno says, I lost 150K. Well, that's, yeah, it's crazy. Bruno Matista. Yeah, they must have been extremely over leveraged. I mean, this is for the small fish, right? This is for people that have lost a few $1,000s, right? And they, you know, they'll be happy with the $200. Got liquidated $400. Looks like Weeks not going to work it, says Thomas. Devil the Legend is around. Singularity X 200 daily EMA. Says Singularity X. We are going to fill the CME gap at 9K. Yeah, we got a CME gap at 9K, says Devil. It's much love to you, brother. Go and check out Devil, guys, if you haven't. He is a coach in the Legends trading community as well, providing great education and content. I am swing long on Ethereum, and I need to provide the entry basically, but it looks pretty damn good. Ethereum looks awesome, guys. Awesome. It looks so good. So good, guys. So good. Oh, am I getting overconfident? Am I getting overconfident and the market's going to wreck me? I don't get wrecked, but could get stopped out. But the Ethereum looks very good, and I want to cover Ethereum right now for the legends that are here. I used a 2x on cross margin, says Bruno. A 2x wouldn't have saved you on the event that we had on Friday. Stay away with no stop losses when you're using cross margin, when you're trading altcoins. Stay away, guys. You will wake up with a massive wick. Never cross margin, even with a 2x. 2x is a lot on altcoins. We got a movement of 50-60% on many altcoins, some 70% on Friday. A 2x ain't going to save it. A 2x is not going to save you. So yeah, guys, use stop losses if you're trading altcoins. Small percentages. Don't have an open account, guys. Don't have an open margin account. Even though if liquidation is down at 0.001, guys, because Atom, which was the insane one that we checked the other day on the stream, it went to zero. It went to zero. It literally went to zero, guys. Atom on Binance. Low 0.01, guys. 0.01. You are cooked if you are using cross margin here with a 2x. You are cooked if you're long in Atom. Atom obliterated whoever was leveraging long this on cross margin. Atom took your money if you had a swing long or, you know, margin long position with even a 2x on cross margin. Use isolated. Use isolated if you know, people are going to use more isolated now, I'm telling you. After this event, not many people are going to use cross margin with no stop. They might use it, but with stops, or completely change to isolated. Because isolated, you will lose the money that you're using for that trade, right? You have a liquidation, much closer liquidation also, but you're getting liquidated with what you've used on that trade, not your entire account. Man, whoever was using cross margin and using their entire account on Friday, thousands of people, guys, they lost everything. They lost their entire account. There's no more to it, right? There's no discussion. It's what happened. We ain't going to talk about that anymore, guys. Let's move on already. I got liquidated 160k with a 1.5x leverage, says Gus. I know, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Altcoins, highly manipulated on exchanges. Easy. Atom, what is it? 1 billion market cap? Easy, guys. An exchange can take a fart and take it down to zero. You think this is... it's super easy to manipulate an altcoin with 1 billion or 2 billion market cap, guys. Super easy. An exchange, Binance just took a little fart on top of this coin and it went... Stay away from these guys. You know, let's focus more on Bitcoin, Ethereum, solid technical analysis, solid levels, ones that cannot be highly manipulated, right? Anyway, we're gonna... Afternoon legends, 𝗬cie, the man himself, is here. Much love to you, smashing up the like button as always. Legends, we talked about, okay, we did something at the beginning of the stream. We went and talked about Confluence levels beneath the lows and above the highs, anchored VWAP, golden pockets, the point of control of the entire range. Stay cautious, it's above this high. It's a big level, guys. It's a rejection point. And the lows of the range, preferably 107k, is reached, which would be filling the Coinbase low for that double bottom and then get the rally, guys. Those are my main interest zones for either a long or a short. It's more of a day trade zone, but on the higher time frame, we are looking for high probability, guys, for a new all-time high. One of the main reasons is that we had a move up here in a 3-wave structure. There's no solid 5-wave count from the April lows considering this 3-wave move up. Only a diagonal would fit, which is this. However, your 5th wave was shorter than the 3rd wave, which is not possible. So there's no 5-wave move possibly to be countered considering this a higher low and this a high with this 3-wave structure. Meaning that this is part of a correction. It has to be part of a correction, right? We need to talk with a little bit of confidence here, guys. None of this, it could happen, maybe, I don't know, it's possible. This is a correction. We are going to all-time high. Somebody had to say it, guys. It had to be said, and I'm here to say it. No financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right? Looking at this movement, this is what we're looking at. A 5-wave move, contracting diagonal. This correction was too small to blast off and go to Valhalla. We were aware of that scenario, guys. We were aware of the possible move down to 107K. It was possible. It was possible. Nobody liked it. Nobody was in favor of this scenario when everything's bullish in October. And this guy's looking for this bearish scenario in October in a bull run. And surprise, surprise, it happened on Friday very brutally. And people got hurt, which is not nice. So as we do have this movement, our conclusion is 3-wave down, 3-wave up, 5-wave down, possible ABC flat on Coinbase, preferably, as mentioned at the beginning of the stream. It would be nice. It would be nice to claim the lows at least one more time so we can have a pretty solid 5-wave down inside of that ABC flat. A C wave needs to be a 5-waver. I'm interested in double bottoms. I'm interested in longing here beneath the low on the reaction, reclaim of the low. I'm interested. Will it happen? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't happen, guys. Maybe it doesn't happen. So if it doesn't happen, you miss the long. So we're gonna have to, figure out some other things. There is the chance, only for the moment, we are favoring the ABC flat. But if you have a zigzag down and a zigzag up, claiming the highs here, it doesn't matter. You can have a W and an X. Maybe it's possible. If you do get this rally in the next coming days that reclaims, this is important, guys, just to understand where the probabilities shift. Because if we do get above $117,000, yes, I'm looking for a rejection at this point, but the probabilities decrease that, maybe you're going to claim this low. Or you're not going to break down successfully from this low, because what could happen here, you got a confirmed 3-wave structure down here. If you get above 118K, right? Let's just say 118K approximately, right? Above the golden pocket. Yeah, let's say 118K-ish. Then you invalidate the possible impulsive move down here, and it automatically converts into a 3-waver. If you have a 3-waver here and you get above the golden pocket, well, what you're looking at is a few scenarios. You either rally here very aggressively to all-time high, and then you come down again in a 5-waver, and you form a flat here on your wave Y. I mean, that would be interesting, right? What the heck's going on? Back to the highs, back to the lows. Pure manipulation. Well, it's one scenario just like this one that played out on Friday, right? We got too aggressive, in my opinion, but it kind of happened. So that scenario can happen. It could really rally off here, could blow your socks off, maybe reach all-time high, maybe not. You need to hit at least the 0.9 Fibonacci from the movement down. If it does and it gets a rejection, this is the moment we'll be very interested in longs. We'll analyze this wave very carefully. If it's going to be a 5-waver, if it's finished in 5 waves, because it can be a running flat, it can come down to the lows. It's like, oh my goodness, I just want to trade. I just want to get into the long, right? Why so many things, right? Why are you overcomplicating things? All-time high regardless. Well, long here, if you want to take the long, we're close to the lows today. If you want to get into a swing long, manage risk. I don't know. So regardless, we are looking for new all-time highs. Either you come back down to claim the lows, you finish the C wave in the flat, or you actually see a 3-wave down, 3-wave up. If you get back above 117K in the next coming days, we are confirming a 3-wave down, which means you either have 3 waves up and 5-wave down to form a flat, or you form a triangle where you have A wave, you form B, C, D, E, right? And then get ready, guys. Get ready because this is going to be epic. We're heading up to all-time high. And your sweet spot is in this zone. You're looking at golden pocket to the 0.88 from your D wave, right? From the low of D wave to the high of D wave, golden pocket to the 0.88 is your sweet spot. And this actually happened very similar. However, your X wave did not claim the highs on gold, guys. We mentioned this on the channel. Gold did an epic WXY sideways corrective structure. Let's see if we do have it here somewhere. I thought I did have it on the folders still. Oh, there it is. Gold did form a WXY here in this zone in a triangle. Look at this. I might have it here. I had a folder here somewhere, but anyway, never mind. Basically, you had a 3-wave down zigzag, a double zigzag up here on gold. It's a double zigzag on your wave X. And then here, we had a triangle, guys, which was epic. We actually did a stream on this back in August, looking for the correction here and then fly to break all-time highs. And you can see after that, zigzag down on gold from all-time high here at 3,500, zigzag down, double zigzag up. That's already bullish. When you get this price action, this is already bullish corrective structure. You know that all-time high is going to be hit at some point. And then obviously what you had is a build-up of a triangle here and an A, B, C, D, E. Right? You have your 5 pivots. And this would be the speculation in the case of Bitcoin that might take a few weeks. If you get above $118,000. Right? Maybe. Because you have that zigzag down, zigzag up. And yeah, a triangle here is very much possible. We're going to have to see. Maybe it's a flat. It's more aggressive. We'll go through that. But we did talk about gold in August. Maybe some of you do remember this. And somebody asked for gold, and we stopped to take a look at gold back in August. There is a video, guys. I'll get it out for you. I did show that video back in September when we got the breakout. Somebody asked for gold, and we were analyzing this range, and I said, you know what? This does look like a WXY. This is going to finish A, B, C, D, E. We got one more move down, and then we go to Valhalla. Which was pretty cool to see after 4 or 5 weeks. We came back to that. So maybe it's one scenario that could happen here on Bitcoin. Maybe. Still have several scenarios, right? It still could be the ABC flat, and we still have the 4545 to claim beneath the low, right? Interesting levels to long double bottoms. I'm ready and waiting if we do get down there. If we do get up to above 107k, I'm interested in an intraday short. Okay, very big confluence there. You got point of control of the range, anchored VWAP from all-time high. There's too much here going on. It's not going to be I don't think we're going to slice this level with the first move. It's likely going to reverse. But ultimately, I would be interested in watching for the swing long. That could take a few weeks still to get to all-time high. Regardless of whatever happens, we're going to have to remain a little bit patient. If we get above 107k, any pullbacks that we get, guys, I'm going to be looking for extreme long positions. Extreme longs. Because you either form a triangle and then bang, or, well, the triangle would be your option here. Another zigzag down is unlikely because you have a zigzag down here. So A double zigzag is unlikely because your X wave went above the highs, and a double zigzag, you need to maintain below the 70% Fibonacci, which is not the case here. We went well above. So a zigzag here is unlikely, very, very unlikely. So if we claim 107k, it's gonna be time to look for aggressive swing longs on the pullback if we get one, right? Sometimes we wait for pullbacks and it just rallies and rallies. But if it rallies and rallies, I'll be interested in shorts. I don't think that we would get a major, we will do this. There will be a pullback at some point, and we need to be watching very carefully that pullback, because I think the best option here would be a triangle and then breakout. Just a little bit of higher time frame drawing and perspective, guys. On the lower time frame, we have gone through the levels and the different scenarios. But on higher time frame, we are looking for all-time high. Let's dive into Ethereum, guys. I think a lot of people must be interested in Ethereum. I think Ethereum is the easiest trade at the moment, and there's an easy invalidation. We are looking for all-time high. I've seen quite a few people talk about this already. Some people, there are people out there on X talking about this, talking about the fourth wave. I never like seeing too many people talk about it, but it's technical analysis, right? It's Elliott wave theory. So anybody that has a minimum knowledge, that they will understand that this is what we're looking at here for Ethereum. High probability for Ethereum that new all-time highs are claimed, and for the moment your invalidation is 3,200 for this fourth wave. You do not want golden pocket to be hit from the pivot low to the pivot high of your wave 3. 50% bounced to perfection with the movement down on Friday, at least on Coinbase. Probably got a little bit lower on futures. I think it claimed this low on futures, but this is the zone to bounce on Ethereum. So whoever catched lower prices, give or take 3,500, 3,400 maybe on some futures, they got an epic entry. And I do believe that Ethereum is going to climb up to new all-time highs in the next coming weeks, guys. Maybe entering into November. Let's see, maybe October. But there's only a few scenarios left here for Ethereum. We mentioned that there's low probability that this is the all-time high. This is the Pico top of the bull run. Low probability, purely based on how we moved down. We got a 3-wave move down, an epic rally claiming the last lower high, and there's low probabilities for this to be a wave, this a B wave, and this a C wave for a wave 2, and this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to form a third wave. Low probability B wave went past the 1.61 extension from your A wave, which is very low probability for it to be a B wave. So we are looking at sideways complex WXY in this structure, 3-wave structure down, double zigzag up, and an X wave. And now the question is, what are we going to form on the Y wave? Because we either have a flat, then all-time high, we have a triangle similar to Bitcoin possibly, and then all-time high. All-time high regardless, low probability. This is the Pico top, and we're going down in the next coming weeks, guys. Could we revisit the lows one more time? It is possible. There is a chance here to claim this low in the flat scenario. So you rally here and you come back down and sweep the lows. Maybe it can be one of those choppy scenarios. I mean, this happened on Bitcoin. The best example of this fourth wave, I talked about this yesterday on the stream, is looking at Bitcoin back here in 2024, right? Holy smokes, guys. This was like, what is going on? 3-wave down, a flat right over here, and then you had a triangle forming here in this zone, right? Which ended up here at a smaller E wave. Whoops, sorry about that. So, yeah, you might think this is the low, but then the price actually claims the low one more time, right? It looks very long and corrective. This is a multi-monthly correction in 2024. And you might think, well, this is the low. This is the low. Absolutely awesome. We're rallying. You get all the way up almost to take out this high. And then you come down to claim the low again. If it does, guys, it is one of the levels to catch the falling knife. If you did not catch the falling knife getting beneath this level, you might have had a limit long that I did. I've actually left a limit long there. So I kind of catched an entry at 3,800, not too far away from current price action. But if you come down to this low, it's going to be a catch the low, guys. Put a limit long that you feel comfortable with, you know, with a stop loss beneath 3,200. If you're comfortable by losing that, then that's okay. But if not, be in front of the charts and look for the swing failure pattern if it is going to come down there in that flat scenario, right? Which is kind of very similar. A scenario that happened on Bitcoin back in 2024. Very long, very long correction here. Multi-monthly. And testing the lows till it actually moved up. And I was just explaining yesterday, based on the price action, that you have a zigzag down here on Bitcoin in 2024. There is a very choppy, you need to go to a higher time frame here, 3-wave move down. And if after a 3-wave move down, after sweeping up these lows, you get this rally that comes so far up that almost claims this high, this is likely a corrective structure. And you are looking for high probability all-time highs to be hit, which did take a few more months. But you know that the probabilities that this is likely corrective, which it was, it just extended for another 3-4 months, right? So it was a little bit too long. But this is kind of the moment where we are on Ethereum. You claim the lows and you're getting the bounce. You can rally to almost hit the highs and you could take the lows again, right? And then rally later on, right? It's just it's a cheeky game, guys, right? And we as technical analysts, we try and figure out where we are in the game, right? Where are we in the map? Where are we in the map? And on Ethereum, we know a few things about the map. We know that there is high probability that we take our all-time high. Okay, that's, you know, we take that inside of our map, right? From Pirates of the Caribbean to find the treasure. We know that, you know, based on the information that we have, we understand that there's good probabilities of taking out all-time high. Where are we in this pattern? Well, I shared a few scenarios the last couple of days. Zigzag down, double zigzag. There's a clear double zigzag here. Clear double zigzag, which, you know, it's a 3-waver. As it's a 3-waver, you can form, you know, this could be a 3-waver down, and this turns a bit in an impulse, and you form an X wave in a flat. And then, you know, a triangle is a setup, or a move down, move up, move down again. You form a flat later on again. So you have a flat in X and a flat in Y, and it just, you know, with the potential of sweeping up the low. And then it rallies, right? So we still have a little bit of more information that we need to kind of say, this is it, guys. And these are big major opportunities that happen once every few months when you're taking a look at the higher time frame to get your sweet spot. And matter of fact, this is what happened on gold. And I didn't take a look at gold. Somebody asked me to take a look at gold back in August. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you want to keep it simple, it was just a regular triangle as well. You could fit a regular triangle in the zone. A couple of lower highs, a few high lows. It was just a normal bull flag pennant that was ready to break. But with Elliott wave theory, you know exactly that could be the last low. That could be the last low. ABC. And yeah, we were literally looking at this as your wave W, your wave X, and your wave Y to finish that triangle. in an ABCDE. And this was when we were looking at this. My take on this one, when somebody asked gold, I literally said golden pocket to the 0.88 is where you want your E wave to finish. Very likely you're going to finish in this zone, and here you're going to rally to new all-time highs. It's a stream on August, guys. I would try and look for it for you now, but it's somewhere in August. But it was pretty insane because we literally talked about this correction down to this zone and then the rally. So as Elliotticians, as they say, you kind of try and figure out where exactly you are in the map. I'll get that stream for you tomorrow, guys. It's just cool to see, right? Cool to see as we talked about it. So on Bitcoin, analysis has been done, guys. Levels of interest are outside of the box mentioned at the beginning of the stream. I am interested in this area, I'm looking for kind of a fake out of the range lows of Sunday. Golden pocket is an option, which is down here. I mean, taking into consideration the wick low of Bybit. Man, my Tradingview is not working that well, guys. It's all been explained at the beginning of the stream. Okay, golden pocket from the wick low to the pivot high, which is filling the lows on Coinbase. Very interesting level for a double bottom on the wick. And this is what happened in 2023. Okay, you had the wick low from a major liquidation event. This was huge, guys, in 2023. Moving from almost $30,000 to $25,000, a $4,000 drop was a big deal back then. It was a big deal. And on Bybit, we dropped, I don't know, was it about $7,000 in a matter of one day? And yeah, just looking at this example, we did not feel the wick back then on Bybit, but we did on Coinbase. And on Coinbase, eventually, as you feel the lows, double bottoms become interesting. Double bottoms from a major liquidation event become very interesting. Okay, so I'm looking at a possible double bottom on spot exchanges such as Coinbase after a major liquidation event. Okay, and yeah, you could arguably discuss that this was also, this was, yeah, on Coinbase, could be a running flat, but you have your 1 2 1 2 3 4 and 5, right? And then you rally, right? That was your flat, C wave of a flat. I think you probably can count it, even though this bounce was too aggressive. Probably did hit the golden pocket. It just missed it by a few dollars. So yeah, there's very possible for that wave 4, right? So you got that grinding from all-time high in the case of Bitcoin at 126k. 1 2 1 2, big 3, dead cat bounce, claim the low at least one more time, and then the double bottom, right? And then you rally, you recover. So ABC flat, maybe, right? That's something that we kind of trying to figure out here. So that's basically it, guys. Levels of interest, 107k, hit the lows on Coinbase, on spot for a double bottom potential. Get above the range highs. That's a scenario. We got anchored VWAP from all-time high, golden pocket as well from all-time high to the wick low, and that's on Coinbase. On Bybit, anchored VWAP is in Confluence with the golden pocket. It's a zone that I'm interested in for a reactionary move right there, and I'm interested in a short in this zone. It's actually the point of control of this entire range, right? So we've got a lot of confluence at 107 to 118k. There's a lot going on there. It's not going to be an easy level to break. It wasn't an easy level to break in September. So, you know where I'm going, right? You know where I'm going. Anyway, today we are pumping a little bit. Today was the cheeky double bottom. That was literally where to get into the long. Double bottom here as the S&P 500 was filling the gap. It was the opportunity. It was the opportunity because the S&P 500 had a gap left from Sunday. Opening on Monday here. We've filled the gap. Man, I need to start trading some stocks because it's S&P is kind of easy. It's kind of easy to trade. Much more mature. Much better with the levels, guys. Bitcoin's still good, but fill the gap. Fill the gap and bounce, guys. What's such an easy long? And as there is correlation with the S&P and Bitcoin, inevitably, well, Bitcoin created also that movement down, double bottom, and got the rally. I mean, yeah, considering the fill of the gap on the stock, I mean, this was your long trading zone. Stop loss at the low. If you want to get into little scalp longs and these little consolidations, then that's you, but I'm not interested in that. Legends, much love. I can see Mark Dutch here in the comment section giving love and power as always. Suzanne, okay, thank you for the heads up. Sin Games, what's going on? Was just deciding the point to add to my longs, not been reading chat much. Much love, Sin Games. Dutchy here giving love and power. Suzanne, watch Powell in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, Powell's coming out, guys. Watch out. It might be extremely bullish or extremely bearish. Oh yeah, he's out. He's talking now. It does look like it's kind of bullish. We ain't doing that. I might crash the stream. Maybe Tom Crown is live. I might crash into his stream. Because there is Fed Chair Powell speech, guys. So that's happening right now. There's going to be some other channels doing that. Much love, Sing Games, Suzanne, Dutchy, Pac-Man. Thanks, moderators, for joining. Dutchy, hope you're doing well, brother. Hope everybody's doing well. Much love to everybody. Trade safe. And ICP bag is there. It's there, okay? It's unrealized losses. We're going to have to hold on. Much love to everybody. Check out Weeks. They got a great campaign going on, guys. At least for 5 days till the 18th. You get $200 if you can prove them that you got liquidated on Friday. How cool is that? If you lost more than 1,000 USDT and you can prove it with a screenshot, they're going to give you $200. That's to trade. That's for the first signups on Weeks, okay? Check out Weeks, guys. The link is down below. And if you do a minimum deposit either on Bluffin or Weeks, you get access to the VIP community on Telegram, right? Where I'm sharing the setups that I'm looking for. Much love, everybody. Thank you for joining. Trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.